event tonight, Miguel Burchell, Takashi Miura. But both of these fighters have a lot on the line for themselves. They want to make some noise in this division.
Listo. Listo.
And we are underway, 12 rounds scheduled tonight. The southpaw, Jezreel Corrales, El Invisible, the invisible one. Why? As an amateur, they said he was so dominant and never got touched that it was almost like the opponents were in there against somebody that was invisible. El Invisible stuck with him, and that's the nickname he had. He said, I would never get touched as an amateur. As a professional, he's 21-1. Only 8 KOs does he have, but one of them coming against Takashi Uchiyama to win the belt in 2016. That was a second round knockout in Japan. The first time he left his native Panama.
And Beto, that was a stunning upset. That certainly was not supposed to happen, and he doubled up on it by winning a split decision in 12 rounds at the end of the year to solidify his claim to the belt. If you're Castellanos, knowing the reputation of Robinson Castellanos, of Jezreel Corrales, you have to work in volume. You have to swarm him. Don't worry about looking pretty. Throw as many punches and try to work in volume and steadily wear him out.
Robinson Castellanos knocked out Yuriorkis Gamboa. That was the first fight Gamboa had under the Golden Boy banner. They brought in Castellanos, knocked him out in Vegas on the eve of Canelo and Chavez. And what does he do? Gets out of the ring, changes, takes a shower, starts celebrating. The next day, Roberto Diaz, Golden Boy matchmaker, calls him. What do you think about fighting Jezreel Corrales at a card we have potentially in July? Castellanos, that's who he is. Yes. He took a week off and he got back to the gym.
And Beto, Golden Boy, when they signed Yuriorkis Gamboa at the beginning part of 2017, this was his slot. They really believed that they moved him down to 130, he could make a title run. But again, Robinson Castellanos certainly had other plans.
Jezreel Corrales' favorite fighter, Floyd Mayweather. And Roberto Duran, who's sitting ringside.
And right now, he's having a hard time with Corrales' shiftiness in that left hand, almost as if he really doesn't see it coming.
Castellanos from Celaya, Guanajuato, Mexico, a record of 22-11. Most of those losses early on in his career when he was taking fights the day before. So malnutrition. Lands a body shot, does Castellanos in the white trunks. Look at his U.S. debut, Jezreel Corrales. Not much really out there on him. As far as you're trying to do research as an announcer. And there he is, no relation to Beto Duran. Mano de Piedras, the great Roberto Duran. Sitting ringside watching his countryman Jezreel Corrales. There you see Corrales.
Ok, bien. Vamos a trabajar con el upper de derecha por el centro. Ok. No deje que el jab de él salga, bótaselo.
Don't let his jab hit you. Move it away.
Bótale el jab. Y entonces avanza un poquito para meter el upper de derecha abajo. Ok.
Get in there tight.
Bótale el jab, bótaselo.
Move that jab away.
Ahí. Baja la frente nada más. Ok.
Cuidado con tu pie.
Hay que mover la cintura, hijo. Tratar de realizar los pasos laterales. Si vas hacia adelante hay que mover la cintura. Hay que tratar de ganarle el paso.
Side to side, you have to be first. Speak Spanish, but that Panamanian accent is tough. So I'm gonna try to get you a couple words for you guys. Bouncing off in the purple, the southpaw is Jezreel Corrales. And she's trying to do some research, trying to find stuff on him. Corrales, in his fight against Uchiyama, was such a big underdog that no TV station in Panama showed the fight. Not even the second one. The rematch was aired live. The rematch, they taped it and put it on air the following day. This one, the first time for Corrales, where his fight will be aired in Panama. Line to left, Holland to the right. What's the book on Corrales, Steve?
Well, he's a slick boxer, athletic, certainly got a lot of speed, crafty. He is your consummate classic slick southpaw. Castellanos doing a little bit better job of actually punching in combination. Again, you can't be concerned about looking perfect or pretty against this guy because you're gonna make you miss. You have to work in volume and hope that the third, fourth, and fifth punch is able to touch him.
Corrales started boxing at the age of 12. He was actually a soccer player. Said he was pretty good on the pitch. Jerry can too. Some Panamanians made the trip. Castellanos, he does look like he's trying to figure him out, isn't he? Just out here with the left.
Well, as they say, punch first, think later. You cannot be paralyzed in thought as you face a guy like him. You have to realize you're going to miss punches. He's going to make you look bad at times. So you have to steadily wear him down with at least some sort of physical pressure. And I haven't seen a lot of body shots. That's one of the ways you slow down a guy and take away his legs, just chipping away. And Jerry Cantu has to clean up this mess here.
Clash of heads, accidental. You're gonna get them near the southpaw. An orthodox fighter. Now, Corrales does have that Mayweather-esque where he throws one, leads with the left, moves around. You see in that corner, Chepo Reynoso is here, trainer in the corner of Canelo Alvarez. Oh, that's some blood there now. That was in the clash of heads.
And that's what Robinson Castellanos needs to do, and certainly there is blood on Castellanos, is make this into as much of a firefight as possible. The more stuff is happening, even if it's not landing, he has to think long term here. He's probably not going to get him out early. He's got to be able to wear him down.
Cut right in the middle of the forehead. Okay, we're using that inswell on the eye. Blood on the nose too. Wonder if that's from the nose or did it drip down.
And this is something that's going to happen often when you have a southpaw and an orthodox fighter, clashing of heads. And right there, yeah, immediately, it draws blood. High on the forehead of Robinson Castellanos.
Corner went to work. We're here in the third. Jerry Cantu warning these two. Probably about those headbutts. They're clashing. Robin Hood Castellanos. The nickname Robin Hood. Once he started winning, he was a fighter who would go in everybody's backyard and they would say, hey, Kay, you're a guy who has lost 7. You got a bad, ugly-looking record. We're going to put you up against our main event guy who's undefeated, and he would beat a guy. Then he beat another guy. Then he beat another guy. Essentially, he was stealing people's zeros. They always say somebody's O's got to go, so he was taking their O's. They said, you're like Robin Hood. You're taking from them. The nickname stuck. Here he is as Robinson Castellanos taking on Jezreel Corrales.
Certainly did that against Ronnie Rios a few years ago. Ronnie Rios at that point was an undefeated prospect who has now bounced back August 26th. He'll be fighting Ray Vargas for the WBC 122-pound title.
He beat Ronnie Rios and he stopped. And he beat Rocky Juarez. And he was stopped in Washington, D.C. by Oscar Escandón.
I remember that fight, and that was his last fight at featherweight. He was a guy that probably died at the scales. He looked very weight-trained that night.
He fought Gamboa at 133. Tonight he's at 129. Much better conditioning. And he feels great at this weight. He was scheduled for 130. He came in under. Actually, both of them did. Body shot. Oh, or no, was it a low blow? It's being ruled a low blow?
You know, Jerry Cantu didn't seem all that sure about the call, and I think Corrales may have sold him on that.
Yeah, the angle we had, it was tough to see for us. Cantu looked over immediately. Let's see, where is it at?
That looked low. It did. That did look low, in all fairness to Jezreel Corrales.
It didn't look low, it landed low. He's from Panama. That was, I think he might have been singing a little, that song, how'd that song go?
Well, that
Panama, where he's going super high?
Yeah, that was definitely below the equator.
Oh, yeah.
But again, that's part of what Castellanos has to do. He has to muck this fight up.
Yeah. Make it dirty.
Make it a fight.
What was Corrales' fight against Uchiyama? Not exactly a dirty fight. Oh, hits him with the right, hits him with the left as Robinson Castellanos. Blood from his forehead. Jezreel Corrales, from talking to one Panamanian writer that I was exchanging with on Twitter, said his record is good, but he was never really tested in Panama. That's something we've seen with fighters come to the United States. Say Uchiyama was a tough fight.
You know, and Castellanos now looks a little bit more comfortable. Not landing a lot, but he is starting to make things a little bit uncomfortable for Jezreel Corrales.
Closing seconds of the third round is scheduled for 12. Castellanos and Corrales at the Forum in Inglewood.
Querida. Estira los pies. Respira profundo. Dame el agua, profe. Ajá. Bota, bota.
How do you feel?
Toma agua ahora. Toma agua. Toma agua.
There you see Sergio Estrada trying to work on the cut on the eyebrow.
Tienes que molestar más con el jab. Molesta más con el jab. Molesta más con el jab. No te fajes con el hombre. No te fajes con el hombre. Pega y muévete para los lados.
Hit and move.
No tienes que ir a fajarte. Tú no eres fajador.
You don't have to mix
Pega
it up
y
with
muévete. ¿Ok? Molesta con el jab. Y mira, tú estás con este pie adelante. Camina para ese lado que tienes para allá. No le busques el lado del hombre. Camina para el lado ciego.
Move to his blind spot.
¿Ok?
That's Sergio Estrada, the cut man who's working for him. They just met today. Corrales did not come with a cut man. He has his team. Yeah, Serge lives in Los Angeles, an Army medic. Retired now.
You know, that's actually quite common, but usually that's for undercard fighters.
Yeah, not a guy who has a belt with him.
Oh,
and that one went down.
That's a knockout.
That counts. The glove hit the canvas. Corrales with a smirk. He walked into it as Robinson Castellanos. This is what he does.
Beto, I think it was a clean-up left hook after a right hand, if I'm not mistaken, but this is what he needs to do. Again, make this into a fight. Don't worry about looking good. Make things uncomfortable for Corrales.
Muck it up, Steve Kim said. He's doing that. And then he drops him with the hand. Corrales' eyes are bigger, much more wide open here in this round. First couple rounds, there was a lot of flash from him, right? It's with the left.
You know, it took a round or two for Castellanos to really get used to the twitchiness, the speed, and the reflexes of Corrales. Seems to be a little bit more in tune with the movement of the Panamanian.
Well, when Corrales was slammed by Golden...
Oh!
That was right on the button. And then Guanajuato drops the Panamanian again.
Beto, he's doing a nice job of moving towards his left and clearing a pathway, and that was a sweeping right hand.
His corner said, don't move to the blind spot. He is, and he's getting nailed. As Robinson Castellanos, halfway through the fourth round, has dropped Jezreel Corrales twice here in the fourth. And Castellanos bouncing around. Could it be another version of what he did against Gamboa?
Beto, he's made an interesting adjustment with that right hand, has Castellanos. It's not a straight right hand. It is a sweeping right hand.
No.
What does that mean, Steve?
Instead of coming over the top, it's kind of coming to the side, almost in a hooking motion.
Mexico chant. Corrales coming into this fight had been knocked down 4 times in 4 different fights, so he mixes it up. I don't think he's felt the power that Robinson Castellanos has. Oscar De La Hoya signed this man. You see Oscar's face, like, uh-oh. There's Robinson Castellanos, also a Golden Boy fighter, but they're using him as an opponent. That's a dangerous thing, according to Robinson. Living up to the Robin Hood nickname so far. Strong round for the fighter from Celaya, Guanajuato, Mexico. Robinson Castellanos drops Corrales twice.
All right, a big round for the challenger from Mexico, scoring 2 knockdowns. And here's the first trip to the canvas for the defending champion, Beto. And let's see, it was a right hand, and it was a clean-up left hook. And again, more action in what was a huge 4th frame for Robinson Castellanos. Again, that's
right on the button.
Right, and that was more of a hooker cut. It kind of looked like an uppercut, but you could see that Jezreel Corrales was slipping right into it. And Beto, after 4 rounds, based on the last 2 frames, I have it 38-36 for Robinson Castellanos.
Strong round. Como me quieres is jamming. How do you like me? That's appropriate for Robinson Castellanos. Like, how do you like me now? Jerry Cantu warning him again about that clashing of heads. You see Oscar De La Hoya sitting on the edge of his seat. Roberto Duran watching his fellow countryman, Chepo Reynoso, arms folded. Golden Boy matchmaker with the goatee, that's Roberto Diaz. So there are a lot of invested into Jezreel Corrales. He's not looking good so far.
You know, Castellanos has all the momentum coming off those 2 knockdowns in round number 4. If I'm him, I certainly do not take the foot off the gas pedal. He has to continue to make life uncomfortable for the defending champion.
Well, you can't afford to, right?
Right.
I mean, you might be with the same promotional company, but you're still the B-side. Corrales moving around. Trying to get his legs back or something? Or?
Well, I think he's trying to box. When you get dumped to the canvas twice, I don't care how tough you are, that's going to change your approach to how you box further on in that fight.
Well, his corner was telling him, we don't want you in there mixing it up. Hit and move. Now I see what you're talking about, Steve, with that right. It's sweet. It's okay, not over the traditional over the top.
Certainly not a cross. It's kind of like an uppercut, but it's a little bit more parallel in the way he's throwing it.
It's a different angle. It's like a pitcher going 3/4 almost.
Right, because if you throw a traditional right hand against a lot of southpaws, they're going to be able to move away from it just by putting their head on that back shoulder of theirs.
Good movement from Corrales. Castellanos. Side-to-side movement. That's what it goes back to the basics you're talking about, Steve, right? The rope, side-to-side, the shadow boxing. Castellanos, you mentioned when he started his career 3-10. At that point, he was just hungry. Then somebody, an angel just came to him and said, you know what, you have potential if you actually train the right way, if you eat the right way. So they gave him, he ended up with a sponsorship with a vitamin company. First time in his life. He was basically, as he said, malnourished the first 10 fights of his career. I didn't know what it was like to actually train and not be hungry. And that's when his career really took off. Ten seconds to go in the round. 130-pounders going at it. Corrales and Castellanos. Main event tonight, Japan's Takashi Miura. There are a lot of Japanese fans in attendance, and there are also a lot of Mexicans from Miguel Burchelt. Miura Back in the forum hallway, locker room. It's a cool venue, a lot of history in it. You go in the, it's not your traditional locker room that's stale. See Burchelt and Alacran, the Scorpion.
Beto, earlier you mentioned Michael Carbajal being here. Their second fight in that great trilogy with Chiquita Gonzalez was held in this venue.
Really?
Yes. In fact, if I recall correctly, that was a big pay-per-view show, and also on that card was Rafael Ruelas getting off the canvas twice to rally against Freddie Pendleton.
The Ruelas brothers.
Fun night back, I believe in '93.
Were you here?
No, I was watching on TV. Couldn't afford it back then.
You were still in diapers, young Steve. Montebello was treating you right. 6th round, halfway through. Get in there. Castellanos and Corrales. They clashed heads in the second. No real effect as Castellanos was cut pretty good. His corner working on it. Dropped Corrales twice in the 4th.
One thing I'm noticing about Corrales, still throwing very sharp, fast punches. He's not fully committing. You can tell there's some hesitation based on probably what happened in round number 4.
So they got dropped twice?
Yeah. Basically, they teach you to punch through the target. Corrales is doing just enough to touch you and get out of there.
Hurricane 2 separates them. Right from Castellanos, covers up. Castellanos is a fighter who believes in himself. I saw him after that Gamboa fight at the MGM, and he was just standing there by himself, nobody really talking to him. Like, it's not his style to look for attention. How do you feel? He's like, nobody believes in me. And yeah, you know, when you lose, people don't. I think it was a fighter recently said when he got a victory, there was like 1,000 messages. He loses, gets knocked out, nobody calls you.
Right. There you go.
Good shot landed by Corrales with that left. Corrales got on the right eyebrow. Castellanos in the forehead. Out from that clash.
This type of pace right here favors Jezreel Corrales all night. He will take this the rest of the fight. Castellanos has got to do a better job of upping this tempo.
Put that pressure on?
Yeah. Again, right now the action is a little bit too clean, and when it's clean, it goes all for the Panamanian. But stuff like this, right there, when stuff's happening, that is when Castellanos can find openings.
.30 seconds to go in the 6th round.
Right.
More blood from the forehead of Castellanos. Solid round for Corrales. You're right, Steve. This pace does favor him.
The less that happens, the better it is for the champion.
No te desesperes, quiero que trabajes tranquilo. Píntalo, píntalo. Ese upper de derecha no lo has trabajado mucho, hay que trabajarlo.
You haven't thrown the uppers, the right upper. Gotta work it.
El hielo en la cabeza.
Ice on his head.
Tira más mano, el hombre se nos está montando arriba. Ok. 7. Viene el 7º round.
Le tienen que arreglar los calzoncillos, dice.
Ok. Para un momentito, arreglate el pantalón.
Right at floor, man. Sé que es el piso, dice.
Ok. Vamos a tirar un poco más de golpe.
Need to throw more. And you see the timekeeper with the bell, and Jerry Cantu fixing the shorts. Beth Durant, Steve Kim, Inglewood, California. Jezreel Corrales in the purple. in a southpaw stance. He's naturally right-handed, but he fights as a southpaw. 3 brothers, 2 sisters. Dad's a plumber. His brother Alejandro also boxes. Got a record of 10-16.
Rounds 5 and 6, I thought, were really favoring Corrales in terms of tempo and pacing. Let's see if Castellanos can turn the tide once again here.
And how do you have it after 6?
I have it 57-56 for Castellanos, based on the big 4th round where he scored 2 knockdowns, giving him a 10-7 round.
Robinson Castellanos knocked him down twice in the 4th. As the Mexican fans are starting to chant. Basically means they're not really too happy with the way the fight's going, the pace of it. They were in the 4th. Fickle fans here at the Forum, they know what's up. Not too far from the Stub Hub. For August 26th, Miguel Cotto and Kamigai will be going at it. Stub Hub Magic, as Steve Kim calls it.
And also on that card, the aforementioned Ronnie Rios gets his first title shot against Ray Vargas, fighting for the WBC Super Bantamweight title.
That's a good scrap right there. Yeah, Robinson Castellanos, his 2nd fight in 71 days. But before that, after he lost to Oscar Escandón, he took 14 months off.
Oh,
good right hand. That sweeping right we're talking about.
See, again, he's got to work in volume. If you're going to miss 1 or 2, that's okay. Make sure one of them touches him. Just work off of that.
After he was knocked out by Escandón in Washington, D.C., he took that long layoff. But Robinson Castellanos also changed his corner. This is the 2nd fight. He's working with Ricardo Zamora. But back to what you talked about, Steve. A lot of these fighters, they get the comfortable voice. Sometimes you need to hear somebody else. And it's worked. He knocked out Gamboa. Here he's looking good against Jezreel Corrales, the Panamanian.
Well, he's certainly in this fight, but right now the momentum has swung back in the champion's favor.
Oh, a good left by Corrales. He dropped them, but it was partially blocked. That's some power when it was partially blocked and still goes down Castellanos. He got up right away. Don't know how much he was hurt by that shot. He's walking back, shaking his head, no. Regardless, though, that's a 10-8 round for Corrales.
It is, and he retakes the lead on my scorecard. For Robinson Castellanos, it's very simple. If he's late, he's going to have to wait, because he simply has no ability in terms of quickness to basically counterpunch him.
Don't get overconfident. It's a close fight.
Back up just a little bit for me. Back up just a little bit for me. Thank you.
And you see that? There's a lot of nothing going on, and that basically favors Jezreel Corrales. That type of airspace, and you're right, Beto, that punch was actually blocked, and he was able to basically hit through it.
And you see the view from the ref cam that Jerry Cantu has on his chest. A little squeegee on it, that'll be all right. Do you have Corrales back up by 1, Steve?
Yes, 66-65 going into round number 8. It's been a good tactical battle at times. It's been won by Jezreel Corrales. Let's see if Castellanos can make this into a fight once again.
Bringing the pressure, looks like, to start this round. It is Jezreel Corrales. Only time he lost, did Corrales, was his 2nd pro fight. It was a unanimous decision, 4-rounder. Trained in Panama City, Panama, from San Miguelito. You see Roberto Duran right there, throwing his hand. Now he folds his arms, but he was throwing the 1-2s. Boxers can never just let that go. They're in there. When we see Chavez, that fights too. If he's not working, he's a throwing his left and his right. Just gotta be careful though. This is the pace that you like for Corrales, isn't it?
No, I don't like it. I love it. For him, this is the way he'd like to have this fight scripted the whole time. Castellanos has got to get going with his hands again. Things are much too comfortable for Corrales here in round number 8.
Up. Break.
With about a minute to go in the 8th round. And if you're Corrales, trying to get back up after getting dropped twice in the 4th, winning some rounds, he's doing that. Castellano, his corner told him it's a close fight. Pick it up a bit, hasn't. This just plays into the favor of the Panamanian. After clenching, the back and forth, and these are the type of rounds for a judge, you just don't know who's going to favor what.
But he is the boxer, Corrales. And when a lot of nothing is happening, generally judges do like to favor the boxer.
And also, what angle is the judge sitting at?
Yeah.
They see things. I'll do it for 8. Tigres del Norte jamming. La Puerta Negra. Let me translate for you, Steve. This door is locked. Got three locks on it. Oscar De La Hoya knows this song. See, the boxer's always throwing punches.
Yeah.
It's like the boxers always throw punches, and non-boxing people always have the boxing pose when they take pictures. Always put that fist up.
I think he has to be feeling better about Jezreel Corrales. I think he's really steadied himself after a rough round number 4. Currently, my scorecard has it 76-74 for the defending champion from Panama.
Bernard Hopkins, yeah, you're watching. See, you were in here before. Hall of Famers. Now business partner, who's Golden Boy Promotions. Ninth round of action here at the Forum in Inglewood, California. Jezreel Corrales, the Panamanian southpaw in purple. Robinson Castellanos, Mexican, green, white, and red on his trunks. Castellanos married, 2 kids. This is weight division, Steve. 130. You mentioned Lomachenko's there. You also have the main event tonight, Miguel Burchell, Takashi Miura there. So Corrales and Castellanos trying to get into the mix of the upper echelon. This right now isn't exactly doing it for these guys.
Yeah, and and according to Eric Gomez, the president of Golden Boy, Francisco Vargas is in attendance tonight, as is Orlando Salido, according to his advisor, Sean Gibbons.
Viva.
Indeed.
Wait, does Salido have a fight coming up?
No, as of right now, they are going to look for a late September, October return. I guess there's a shoulder injury, which knocked him out of the running for Vasyl Lomachenko on August 5th.
Okay. My favorite Uber driver, Orlando Salido. That's a character. That's a guy right there. That's not just inside the ring, but outside of it, just one of the nicest persons you'll meet. And always comes with a scrap. And Lomachenko, haven't you tweeted that he might go up?
Well, if he can't find a significant fight at 130, his manager did say within due time, they'll be at 135. One of his goals coming in, and again, I don't know if they're going to be able to accomplish this. Lomachenko would like to win 4 major titles in 4 separate weight classes in less than 10 fights.
Good to have goals.
Yeah.
I mean, they're lofty, but they're possible, right? Well, shot landed by Corrales.
When you're that good, yes.
135 would be what, Linares? Mikey Garcia?
Yeah. Robert Easter.
Yeah.
Good solid fighter from Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, I like Easter. Shot landed by Castellanos. As Corrales trying to rally back here. Those are the kind of shots that can steal the round too, can't they?
It is, but you know, most of this round it's been controlled by Corrales, but this is what Castellanos has to do. Again, make it into a fight. It's not always going to be a Mona Lisa, but just get your hands moving and make it uncomfortable for Corrales.
Toma agua. Jezreel, tienes que trabajar los golpes más fuertes abajo, al cuerpo, tírale al cuerpo.
Go to the body.
Y gira para la mano derecha tuya, gira para ese lado, no te le quedes al frente de él.
Don't stay in front of him.
Ponle mejor aquí, Doc. Ponle aquí.
¿Vaselina?
No, la adrenalina.
¿Ese tiene adrenalina?
Es que esa está más peligrosa.
That cut right there, that's more dangerous. Work on that one. Two fighters taking their time, staying on their stools. They pop up for the 10th as we're ready to go. Scheduled for 12.
Beto, we're in championship rounds now. I have an 86-83 for Corrales. Castellanos is going to really have to dig deep and rally here if he wants to win that belt.
Castellanos dropped him twice in the 4th, and after that, it's been Jezreel Corrales. Got a knockdown of his own in the 8th. A clash of heads. That was right on the eye that's already cut. It's already cut, and there was a clash right on it.
Accidental headbutt on the chin. Accidental. Accidental headbutt on the chin.
Oh, that swelled up quick.
No, it really did.
That swelled up quick, Steve. Once it turns around, you're going to see it. Yep. That's swelling quick. Checking out with the doctor. And it is over. The fight has been stopped.
And I believe that'll now go to the scorecards. We're going to be getting a technical decision.
And on the scorecard, your unofficial scorecard, Steve, what do you have?
86-83 for Jezreel Corrales, who rallies back from getting sent to the canvas twice, basically dominating the late stages of this fight.
Hey, you're going to get those gloves fast.
And they were working on that small cut before they went up for the round. And that clash ahead, or the clash. Boom, right there, right on the cut.
Happened a lot to me. I'm just chasing him.
In the 4th round, that man sent Jezreel Corrales to the canvas twice, and there seemed to be a window of opportunity for a shocking upset to happen, but quite frankly, he never really capitalized on it, and the tempo slowed, the pace waned, and that was a Jezreel Corrales type of fight, at least on my scorecard.
And there you see, here comes the headbutt. They're working, they're working, they're working. There's the clash of heads right there. That's what stopped the fight.
Now, there were a lot of close rounds, granted, though, but I did think in rounds 6, 7, 8, and 9, clearly the superior boxer who controlled the tempo and landed the cleaner punches was the Panamanian. We'll see how the judges have it. Again, Jezreel Corrales, this is his first fight in the States. In many respects, he is still the visiting fighter.
Well,
and judging by that reaction that he's getting right there, he is certainly the visiting fighter.
He is learning that this is not Panama. You might fight in the United States, but the Mexicans are going to boo you unless you put on a good show.
All right, so we're still waiting for the scorecards to be announced. This fight has been called off in the beginning of round number 10 as the two men knocked noggins and a bad cut and some swelling underneath the eye of Robinson Castellanos. It was deemed that he would not be able to continue, and this fight has been waved off. And again, it'll be a technical decision, and we are waiting the scorecards. To recap this fight, Corrales got off to a good start boxing early, but then he was sent to the canvas twice in round number 4, and all the momentum seemed to be with the Mexican challenger. But he was able to steady himself and then one by one just win a round by boxing, at least on my personal scorecard, which has an 86-83 for Corrales, making his stateside debut and his first fight under the Golden Boy Promotions banner. But they are certainly taking a long time to announce the scorecards.
And there you see Jezreel Corrales, the Colombian. Ooh, the die job's going to get fixed, huh?
Well, I guess the abacus is broken because they're certainly taking a long time to get these scores tabulated.
Well, it was a technical. Robinson Castellanos has his hand up like he thinks he won. Trying to get the crowd on his side. Let's go, Michael Buffer.
Well, halted out because of an injury sustained by an accidental headbutt. Under the unified rules of the ABC, along with the World Boxing Association and the California State Athletic Commission, we go to the scorecards, including round 10. The contest was stopped at 31 seconds into round 10. Here are the score totals. Zachary Young scores the bout, 94-94. He has it even after 10 rounds. Carla Cailles scores it, 94-93. Pat Russell has it, 96-92. The winner by majority decision, and still Super of the world, Jezreel El Invisible Corrales.